I'm sure all of you are aware about the drama that's kind of surrounding this upcoming week's UFC fight card, but I'm not sure if you're aware about how bad this card is. So let's just look at it at face value. It was supposed to be Albazi versus Tyra flyweight main event this week in the Apex. Already, you're kind of like, okay, it's in the Apex, it's going to be fun, right? Flyweights are always fun, even though these are grapplers, whatever, we'll get through it and move on. We don't even get that, man. Albazi falls out of the fight. And then you get Tatsuro Taira versus Hyun-Sun Park. Hyun-Sun Park is undefeated. He was supposed to fight Steve Urseg, also in the Apex next week. I believe it's still going to be at flyweight. But, so already you're kind of losing me because, and listen, man, we're just kind of getting a road to the UFC kind of main event. To be honest with you here, if you get the joke, you get the joke. But either way, listen, man, I want to tell you guys kind of about this card, and I just want to complain for a few minutes. Take up your time and kind of give my opinions on a couple things that upset me about the Apex in general and kind of the what this card means as a whole for the UFC. So when we look at this card, right? You have a couple of fights that are really fun, man. You look at these lightning bolts here. Danny Silva versus Kevin Vallejos. That's a really fun fight, dude. I don't know if you guys have seen Danny Silva fight, but he's a very fun pressure southpaw kind of guy. Vallejos is obviously a finisher. He took Gene Silva to a decision. We don't care about Neil Magny and Easy DS, even though it'll probably be a finish. I could care less about Carol Rosa. Elvis Brenner and Esteban Ribovics is an awesome fight. Like, genuinely, I'd be really hyped if I saw that on the prelims of a pay-per-view, if that was there. Same for Mataus Roundbetsky and Chris Duncan. That's a really awesome fight. And I think everyone should be excited for those three that I've kind of listed, man, because those are really fun fights. Like, these are things that, like, I look at these fights and I'm like, wow, like, gosh, these are the type of fights where you're actually excited for them, even if it's like a hardcore thing to be a fan of, like Elvis Brenner or Esteban Ribovics. Like, these are cool. Like, when you actually turn on the fights, you're like, fine, I'll suck it up and I'll watch them. They're fun. But, you run into this issue where you're looking at, okay, these fun fights, right? Surely they're going to be in front of a ton of fans and they're going to be screaming. And at least if it's a shitty fight night, you get the crowd that's going crazy for all these fun fights. The Apex is like 100 people that watch these fights. And it's all just rich people, like you get Zuckerberg and you get the families and friends of fighters, and you get media. That's it, dude. You're getting John Morgan in the audience laughing. What, you want drunk fans, but you're just gonna get Nina Drama making a TikTok in the background of a random fight. That's what you're gonna get, dude. And it sucks. Like, it really sucks that the Apex still exists. I get it if I was a real businessman, and I'm not calling this a business, but if I was calling the UFC a business, which it is, I get it. You're not spending as much money. You can kind of throw away a bunch of fights that you don't want to throw in crowded arenas and make people pay for. That would be cool if you were putting together these unbelievable fight nights and everyone was fighting all the time, but they're not. So why even waste your time going to the Apex? Like, we've got fucking, I don't even know the other media members. Like, it's not even like we have Luke Thomas or Ariel Helwani there, like, to ask the guys questions at Media Day, and, we get a crazy moment at Media Day where a guy gets mad or shit talking somebody. Dude, it's frustrating, man. You got people paying $3,000 for VIP tickets. Most of the tickets, to be honest with you, are literally just other fighters that get free tickets to the Apex. So, that sucks, man. That sucks already. So you're looking at this, right? You're thinking, okay, finally, we got 200 people here. This is going to suck. The fights are going to be really fun, so the commentary is going to be going wild, and there's going to be some badass moments where, you get Anik and Rogan and Cormier, screaming at the top of their lungs for a super exciting fight. You're getting Dominic Cruz. You're getting a Dominic Cruz at the Apex, just the most boring guy of all time. This makes me mad. Dominic Cruz is the most boring commentator in the UFC right now, and I'm not kidding. Listen to a Dominic Cruz fight where someone gets hurt really bad. They'll get like stunned with a big shot and then put down, and you'll go, oh, he's hurt. Oh, he got dropped. Wow, he got dropped. This guy is so boring, man. And I don't understand. There's got to be other fighters we could throw in there. Got to throw Anthony Smith in there. Throw Anthony Smith in there talking about how he could beat Khalil Roundtree on paper in a rematch. You know, something other than Dominic Cruz, because he sucks. Dominic Cruz sucks as a commentator. I made a whole video about this. But you're gonna get him, and then you're gonna get like Brendan Fitzgerald and Laura Sanko, as your people doing the commentary, and it's gonna be terrible, man. And it sucks when the main event isn't even good. Like, we're talking Tatsuro Taira and Hyun-Sun Park. Maybe it's the greatest fight of all time, and I know nothing about it. I've literally never watched Hyun-Sun Park fight. It kind of is what it is there. But the worst part is, and you keep going, by the way, I keep saying the worst part is, you're going to continue getting worse and worse parts. Look at the prelims, dog. Rinya Nakamura versus Nathan Fletcher. I'll talk about that in a second. Rodolfo Vieira is 75 years old, and Tresean Gore sucks. He got the shit kicked out of him last fight by, who was it, Marco Tulio? Nick Klein and Andre Puliev. Who cares? Estevam versus Felipe Bunez. Okay, I get to watch Estevam shoot 30 takedowns and then gas in the third round. That'll be great. That'll be an awesome fight, man. I'm pumped for that. You're not even giving us exciting fights. Like, Bakoev and Finney fell off the card. There's another women's fight after this that I don't even care to talk about. Like, you're giving us nothing on this card. There's nothing to look forward to on the prelims. I don't think I'll watch a single one of these prelims. I might bet on them because I'm a degenerate, and we are all degenerates. We all spend $8 billion each night on UFC, or each Saturday night on UFC cards. But, like, it's just so frustrating, man. Like, look at this, man. Rinya Nakamura is the featured prelim of this card, right? You look at this resume per UFC, you're talking all KOs and one submission in the first round, and then you've got a unanimous decision randomly. I don't know what happened in that fight, but he got a UD. Good for him. All really exciting and fast wins. Wow, this guy's such a crazy prospect. Rinya Nakamura has had all decisions since he's actually been in the UFC. His last fight, he lost to Muin Gafarov, who looks like this. He has hair growing out of a random part of his back. I can't even show it here. It's so disgusting. He lost an MMA fight against Muin Gafarov, a tiny Tajikistani guy who has never finished anybody. He's never finished a woman in his life, but he's definitely not finished an MMA fighter. And Rinya Nakamura, one of the better prospects in the sport, could not beat him as like a minus 1,000 favorite. That is where we are with this card. That's who we're throwing on the featured prelim of a fight card. This guy should be opening up an Apex card if we're in the Apex. He should. I mean, it's just, I don't get what we're doing, man. Like, it's just so frustrating to look at a card and get off a card like Abu Dhabi, where even if it was a ton of decisions, there were so many fun moments. Even the crowd was going crazy. Shara and Marc-Andre Barrios had that great fight. And then I've got to come on here on Monday and complain. And this video's not even coming out on time. It's coming out like 8 p.m. But obviously I want to get the criteria out tomorrow, so I'm going to do what I have to do. But I don't like coming on to complain. Obviously, I know it gets more views to complain about the UFC, but like, it's just so frustrating that there's so much to complain about. I want to talk about good. I want to talk about, wow, look at this upcoming card. Man, it's just like, next week, dude. And forget the Steve Usyk fight. That's not even happening anymore. He's fighting O'Day Osborne at bantamweight. Banger there. But look at this next card, man. You have a Roman Dolidze and Anthony Hernandez main event for a fight night in the Apex with 200 people watching, including John Morgan screaming. You're going to get bangers on this card. Fan favorites. Angela Hill. We all love Angela Hill. 18-14. She's now the featured fight of this fucking fight night. Steve Usyk versus O'Day Osborne. Holy banger. We are all tuned for that. And Eric Anders. Eric Anders is still fighting in 2025. People forget, man, Eric Anders, this guy got knocked down by Chris Weidman. What a marauder this guy is. 38 years old, 9-8 in the UFC. Somehow he's fighting Christian Leroy Duncan because he's beat Jamie Pickett, who was the worst middleweight on the roster, and he got knocked down by Chris Weidman and fluked him at the end of the fight before Weidman retired for good. This is what we're having. Matsumoto and Miles Johns. That's literally just going to be a boring decision. Andre Fili and C-Rod. Probably a decision unless one of them gasses. Usyk and O'Day Osborne. Decision. Angela Hill and Yasmin Lucindo. Decision. The only fight that's probably a finish is Eric Anders and CLD, and I could see a world where that's a decision. Dolidze and Hernandez. Decision. The UFC has gone about this so incorrectly with the way that they make fight nights. You know why people loved UFC Tampa? because every single fight was built with the idea that it was pretty likely there was going to be a finish. People don't give a shit if it's two big name guys and they go to kind of a technical decision. Darren Till and Stephen Thompson was a really cool fight on paper. Guess what? It was a boring technical decision. Cub Swanson and Billy Q, I was hyped for that because you knew that that was going to be a really fun barn burner. Michael Johnson and Otman Azaitar was one of the early prelims. That was a banger. You knew that Colby and Joaquin Buckley was going to be a really fun fight. Ricky Simone and Javid Bashara wasn't even supposed to really be a finish. It was like the only fight that wasn't. And it was a flatline KO. Jacoby and Petrino, you're playing on the idea that there's going to be a KO. You have to play for finishes when you make these fights. You have to put guys who are finishers in there. It's like, for example, Adam Fugan, Islam Dulatov at UFC, was it 318 or was that 317? I think it was 318. That fight was a good prelim. You know why? Because you know there's going to be a finish. I think the prelims, for the most part, should be showcases for prospects on pay-per-views. Have them go in there with a tough guy that has finished fights. And if you got a finisher as a prospect, you can have him go in there and knock this guy out. Or it's a crazy moment where actually it's a tough fight and it's wild. You have to do it so that it's set up for a finish, because otherwise people aren't going to want to watch and it's going to be boring. Miles Johnson, Gene Matsumoto, name-wise, same for Andre Fili and C-Rod. Cool fights. You know that Matsumoto's a prospect. You know Miles Johnson's been very successful in the UFC. A lot of people like Andre Fili. A lot of people like C-Rod. Guess what? Decision merchants. Why would I want to see that matchup? Have them fight people where there's going to be a finish. Have Miles Johns go against a guy that's a really good striker but can't grapple that much. Why not do Miles Johns and Cody Garbrandt? They did that a while ago. Why not do it for this card? I know it's obviously it would have been a quick turnaround for Cody, but we could have waited. It just seems silly the way they're doing this, and it's just so frustrating. And this has been the longest rant I've been on this video, but I don't know, man. It's just annoying, and I've got a quick fix. We have to bomb the Apex. That's what I call a tangent. That's what I call a segue right there. But we got to bomb the Apex. Dana White, he's looking real pink there. I think that's the only solution, man, because this shit sucks. Like, the way they're matchmaking these fights, it's like they don't know what they're doing, dude. Like, I wish they would just look at the UFC Tampa blueprint and copy that for every single card. If they promise finishes and they aren't finishes, you can live with that. You can be like, okay, I thought it was going to be a finish, but they hung in tough or it was kind of sloppy, whatever. Now we know. You can't live with a fight that goes to a decision that you expected to be a decision. That's so stupid. Why would I want to watch that? You want finishes. We are all casual fans at heart, where we want to see nasty KOs and crazy submissions and, we got beat down over the 3 rounds. We don't want decision merchant. We don't want to see the fucking Basharat bros fight. No one wants to see them fight. You know what I mean? Like, these are my things. It's just, I don't know, man. It frustrates me. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about it. So yeah, that was kind of my rant for the night. It is what it is, man. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. I feel like Max Holloway keeps saying it is what it is, brother. I thank you so much, guys, for watching. I just wanted to rant about the Apex. I hope you enjoyed. For the people that comment under my videos, I respond to every single one, good or bad. I just like talking UFC. I like talking MMA, and when it's bad, it's bad. When it's good, it's good. And right now, it's bad. So life is a J curve, and things will come back up for the UFC. But we got to hurry up and get to 319 and 320. We just got to survive right now. So thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And if you're not new, just like, comment, and subscribe. My TikTok is at MoneyManziel MMA. I post a TikTok there every single day. I will see you boys in the next one tomorrow for the Money Manziel criteria. I'm not looking forward to that one that much, but it is what it is. It'll be fun. It'll be funny, hopefully. I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out.